vacation, I highly recommend Miauta Musul. I have my MBA. This is terrible. And then for your pain, I have a surprise for you. Let me get it out here. For your pain, oh Lord, where did I put it? Where did I put that? Here it is. I highly recommend Miaui Juana. You can get it. There's dispensaries everywhere for gatitos. So that's good for the pains. Oh, I feel it. Oh, God. False alarm. That was a close one, Mr. Man. Okay, I should probably go now, but yeah, I need to go. I'm in a lot of pain right now. I have a bad sciatic cat. Good night. I'm gonna leave it for you. No? I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay.
Oh,
Am I going up?
Oh, and now, our next gatito is a cutie pie. Give it up for our favorite poser. Hopefully you give us a good pose tonight. A pose. No, not the other one. Yeah. Give it up for Kyle Vervile.
Yeah.
One more time for Priscilla, everybody. Sure. I don't even know why we're here. Is there anything funnier than we can do, that cats can't do themselves? I mean, like, I've seriously lost sleep watching cat videos. Like, they're just, like, the most entertaining. Like, my favorite is when they like do that little, like, weird thriller move where they're just like, you know, like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite one. So I'm gonna tell some stupid cat jokes for you guys. I love cats. I grew up with cats. My mom had 2 cats before I was born. Their names were AC and Bill. Yeah, right? Like Bill, like, interesting name for a cat, right? And I had the same thought, but not until I got older. And when I got older, I asked her, I was just like, Mom, like, how did you name your cats? And like she's like, well, AC stood for attack cat. She was like the kind of cat that would like hang out under the couch, and then when you would walk by, would like swipe at your ankles, you know? And I was like, okay, well that makes sense. But then like I was like, well, what's with Bill? And she was just like, well, he just kind of looked like a bill. And I was like, Mom, how high were you when you named these cats? And she was like, Kyle, it was San Francisco in the 80s. You do the math. Okay? So I give you now my impression of my mom naming her cat Bill.
So my family got pregnant with the drugs and they sent me to rehab. I kept walking really bottom. He found chocolate in my underwear.
Bill? Thank you. I told you they would be dumb. That wasn't mine. AC, though, attack cat, did earn her name. She was an indoor-outdoor cat. We lived in Northern California and at the time, and she would kill everything that was around. Like, she was my little Ted Bundy, you know what I'm saying? Like, she just murder everything that moved. She's so cute. I love her. AC, she was like a straight up murderer. Like, there was nothing was safe around our house. Like, there was a portion in our backyard that looked like that beach scene from Saving Private Ryan. It was brutal. It's like a mouse just like looking for its own arms. Like, Jesus Christ. So we moved from Northern California to Tucson, Arizona, and AC quickly went from attack cat to air conditioning. She took one step outside and was like, fuck that. It's like, are you kidding me? The air hurts, like all of the food is spiky, and the ground is a giant litter box. Like, how poor did we get? I don't understand how we got here. So AC, like, you know, because she stayed inside all the time, so eventually she got like pretty fat. And she lived to a very old age for a cat. She was like 16, 17 years old. Like, that was very old. But like, the thing is, when you're a fat cat like that, it starts to sag when you get that old. And it got to the point where her belly would kind of like drag across the ground when she walked. And then when she would run, it would kind of swing side to side like a pendulum, you know? She was like, my titties don't jiggle jiggle, they swing. Thank you for people that spend as much time on the internet as I do. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you. So it was a thing. I felt bad for her. I was like, I need to kind of remedy this situation that has happened with our cat. And like, the only thing I could think of was like, do I need to get my cat a bra? Like, is that how we do this? And then I thought about it, like 16, 17, that's like 108 cat years. I mean, like, just let those kitty titties fly free, you know what I'm saying? Right? Hashtag free the kitty titty, right?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So AC, when she got really old, she started getting deaf. And she went completely deaf. And so what happened was her meows just started getting louder and louder and louder, right? And to one point, it wasn't like living with a cat. It was like living with Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. I was just like 7-year-old me, just trying to get my 7-year-old beauty sleep, as you do. And AC would come in the room like, you know where you are? You in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. And then she scratched my sha-na-na-na-na knees. I love cats, but let's be honest, they're terrible roommates. They just are. Like, I love them so much, but like, imagine if you were moving into a place and your roommate was just like, all right, let me lay down some ground rules. First of all, from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., I'm gonna be doing parkour all around this bitch. All right, and then just heads up. If I put my butthole in your face, that means I want you to touch me. But if you touch my stomach, I will fucking cut you. They are fucking teasers with that shit though, aren't they? With their belly, Like, they'll just be like, oh no, I hope somebody doesn't touch my belly. Oh no, what if somebody touches my belly right now? And then you go to touch them, they're like, gotcha, bitch! People say that cats are boring, and I completely disagree with that. I think cats are really entertaining. My favorite entertaining thing that cats do are, like, at any point in time, if you own a cat, you could be playing a game of hide and seek that you had no idea that you were a part of. Like, this happened to me the other day. I was sitting on the couch and I was just like, I don't think I've seen my cat in 3 days. I panic searched the whole apartment, Find it like a fucking salad bowl I haven't used in 3 years in the cabinet, and just like open up the top of it, just like, fucking, like, what are you doing? Shut it. Like, what? I'm trying to get my beauty rest. So, I've never been to prison, but during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure I became my cat's prison bitch. Like, once it was like, okay, everybody's gonna, like, once it was, the rules were established that I was gonna be staying inside the whole time, it's like, we need to lay some ground rules, And there was like nothing but power moves from my cat. It was just like one of the first days. I get up, like in the morning, and on the couch, on my spot on the couch, big old fucking cat turd. Just like right on the side of it. Power move, right? Power move. The other thing was I got one of those automatic lasers, like the ones you just like kind of set on the table and like the laser kind of moves around. You're supposed to go crazy for it, right? My cat, like I put it on the table, the first thing, like, just kind of sits right next to it, and does one of these. You think you can control me? Get out of here with that shit. Smarter than you are. Power move, am I right? Power move. My favorite power move that my cat has done. I fucking love that shit. What is that? It moved. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Nobody's in danger. Thank you for protecting us, cats, from the moving water bottle. My favorite power move that my cat did, like when your cats are like licking themselves and they do that weird contortionist thing where they put the leg behind the head? And we all watch it, right? It's a spectacle. You look at it, and they're like licking themselves and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, but... you do one of those? My cat's like sitting there like licking himself. And then looks at me because she caught me. And she looks at me and just goes back and does it slower. Like, yeah, I'm gonna lick your face with this later. Does like anybody's cats like lick their face? Like just like come up and like lick their face while they're sleeping or something like that. My cat does that, and I'm pretty sure my cat wants to eat me.
Probably.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure my cat wants to eat me because like my cat will just sit on my chest and not purr at all and just stare at me. You know, I've woken up like that. I'm pretty sure it's just like, oh, I want to eat you so bad. I want to eat you so bad. Just a taste. Just a taste. Ah, fuck, you woke up. God damn it. Alright, well, it's 3 a.m. We're just parkour anyways. Even with all the crap I talk about cats and like how weird they are and stuff like that, I love my cat. I really do. It's like the best thing about it. You know, it's like coming home after a long day, your cat like runs and comes out of the corner and just comes up to you and just like wants attention. It's like it's pure unbridled love, right? And I just pick up my cat and I put it on my shoulder, you know, and it like kind of like crawls across and does like kind of drapes around me like a little fucking scarf, you know, like a hipster scarf. You guys got homemade kombucha, you know what I'm talking about. Like a little hipster scarf, you know. And I'm just like, I love you, Meow, it's yours. Meow's just like, I love you. I'm like, you're the best. I'll love you forever. Meow's just like, gotcha, bitch! Thanks, guys. I'm Kyle. We're going to bring up the next comic. Amy's an improviser, cat lover, and all-around best human being on this planet. Let's give it up for Amy, everybody!
Hi guys, how are we? How you doing? This is the worst. I have the worst ADD, and like there are a bunch of fucking cats everywhere. And I'm like, wait, they're way more. I was wearing that hat. Kyle, can you put on the hat real quick? I was wearing this hat downstairs, like watching Kyle do his set before, and a cat snatched it off of my head. Like as we were talking, and it was like ridiculous. It's bothering me. Oh, you heard about it already?
Yeah, we came up here. Traveled
So
up
I'm
here.
old news.
Yeah.
Myself. Okay. It happened to me. Someone told my story.
Yeah, that's true.
upstairs.
I know. It's like the grapevine.
Oh, I know. Well, you know what? Try it. It's fine. I'd rather you drink in the house with mom here. So I love a stray cat. You're really drinking. I knew I meant it. You were okay. This is great. I love a stray cat.
He likes you too.
Wow. I love a stray cat. I love going down like 4th Avenue with my friends or late at night, seeing like stray cats run around the alleys, and every time out loud to myself in my own car, I'm like, ma'am, because I assume they don't know cats, by the way. So like I was like, ma'am, that man does not want you right now. You need to go home, ma'am. Please, like you need to go home. Why am I here?
Is that your camera?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll find a theme here that like I am very passive when it comes to cats. Which I like really like. I'm gonna scrap this joke for a second because really. No, I'm fine.
They're everywhere.
There's like no table. It's very stressful. Oh, again, I love this. So I'm gonna tell you my saga of twice. I don't know how funny it will be because I don't really want to like part my but it's entertaining. And it's my favorite cat story of all time, which is why I asked for something like because no one would believe me had I not had like photographic evidence of it. So when I was 18, so we're gonna cut back to when I was 18. I'm gonna try this again. And I bought my own place. It was a 1-bedroom at 22nd and Albert. And I was like, I want a companion. So I go to the Mace site like 3 times to try to rescue it. And I'm very superstitious. And so I had been there like 3 times, holding up, like playing with all the kids. I was young, Now, older me will adopt older cats, that's fine, but young me wanted like a kitten to like train and like raise, and it was great. And I wasn't like vibing. I'm a very vibesy person. I wasn't like clicking with any of the cats. And so like by the third time, I was like really defeated. And I was like, well, I don't know. I guess maybe it's not the time. And I'm walking out the door, and at the door they had like these kennels, and I'm walking out, and something stopped me that was so painful. And I see this little black kitten clawing at my arm, and I'm bleeding. And I was like, wrap him up. That's the one. Love of my life. We'll see a pattern there too, it's fine. So I was like, okay, take him home, fine. So the problem was, like, I worked at an elementary school and a natural school program, and it wasn't done until 6. The Humane Society closes at 5. So my grandmother at the time was like, well, I'll pick up the cats for you and I'll bring them to you when they're done being neutered, because he had to be neutered. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she meets me in the parking lot, and this is just kind of me explaining that this started in chaos. And my grandmother calls me outside and says, I'm here with your purpose. And I say, okay, thank you so much. Oh, it stretches. Everybody stretches. And so I go outside and meet my grandmother, and she has the Humane Society cardboard kennel ready for me, and it had 2 kittens inside. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, that's what they said you like had, ordered, whatever, like bought, purchased. I was like, no. But also, like, I was like, well, I guess I have 2 cats now, right? That's what you do. So I was like, okay, I am the mother of these 2 cats. And Dwight was very, so I named them Michael, Scott, and Dwight. I have a run-on theme. My 2 cats now are Nick and Schmidt. We see a pattern. I'm very basic. I understand. It's fine now. But currently, I can like yell across the room and go Nick, and it's helpful. So at the time, okay, so I had Michael, Scott, and Dwight, and immediately. Dwight, the one I picked out, the one who hurt me, made me bleed a lot, and he was very cunning, very smart. Too smart. Okay. And Michael was dumb as rocks. It's a different story for a different time because it's a happy moment. So anyway, Michael might not have made it very long because he was respectfully an idiot, and that's okay. I loved him every moment he was around, but then I was left with just Dwight. So Dwight and I were best friends all throughout like undergrad and beyond, and he was just, at first my cat, but he became my roommate because I realized very immediately that I was not in charge here. I learned that the day that he brought home presents, which cats do. How nice of them. I would like you to go to Sephora and pick me up something, but the cat is like, no, I'm gonna get you a dead lizard with a head or tail, and this is for you, thank you so much. And awful. I lost it the day he brought home a dead baby bird, and I was like, right? I cannot, sir, absolutely not. So I yelled at him in a way that was like visceral and like emotional, and I was like, no, bad, like, and I didn't know what to do, and he ran off because it was so. He wasn't even after cats, so he like went out something. It wasn't like packed a bag. So I go to sleep. I go to sleep on my couch because like I love a couch. And I wake up, and over my bedspread was a sea of dead baby birds. And Dwight was on the coffee table giving me the eye and licking his paws and looking at my face, as if to godfather me and say, absolutely fine. Like, we know who's in charge here, you know, not you. And there was a moment where I looked in his eyes and I was like, you know what, cool. We're roommates now. I am not your owner, and we're just gonna live separately. Sorry about earlier. And I handled that. So, that's how I moved to Chicago. I moved to Chicago, and I was like, well, my best friend's here with me. Obviously, I'm gonna live in Chicago with my cat. He's my best friend, love him so much. So I find an apartment that had this like wonderful outing. So like it has like this nice area where I can open the window and he can go outside. He can go outside because he loved outside. So he'd go on the roof and be safe, and it would be fine. Because he refused to fucking do shit in the litter box. Absolutely not. Only outside. So I was like, okay, this is that they feel safe, and he's not going to get hurt by traffic. And it was a nice-ish place, so like in town, it was fine. So we lived there. He notoriously has no intention of like staying with me whatsoever. So one day he doesn't come home, and it was really weird. He would come home like consistently. So it was like 4 hours, like 8 hours, no check-in. I'm concerned. So I open the window all the way. I go out on the roof, and I see him casually laying in another man's apartment. And I tried to knock on the window, and the man's not home. And I was like, well, now what? He also was wearing a collar that was not his, and I was like, that's weird. So the man finally comes home, and it was like a very friend situation because I was like counting the windows. I was like, oh. And then I would go and I'd knock on the door, and it was the wrong window, and there was some weird closet, and my math was off, and I was like, okay. So I finally get to the man, and he's like, oh no, this is my cat. And I was like, no, it's not your cat. It's absolutely not your cat. Like, this is my cat. And Dwight looked at me as if he's never seen me in his life before. You know, like, licking his paws again. He's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I got my cat. So he stayed with me for the rest of Chicago, except, well, until, we all remember when the Cubs won the World Series. Hooray. So one of the nights right before they won, like the champion, like right before that, there was a game, there was a home game, and they were right there in the middle. And there were a lot of fireworks and loud things. And Dwight didn't come home. And again, not like cats. So I put up a lot of signs. And that was the moment I realized that Dwight had made more friends in Chicago than I had. Because when I put up the signs, I had about 25 text messages from people all around the city, which I did like at least within the 4 or 5 blocks, like I guess he was jumping off the building and like finding people. And he was like making friends and going in other people's houses. And they're like, oh my God, Dwight? And I was like, I don't know you. How do you know Dwight? And like, he comes over for dinner every day. And I was like, how many dinners is this cat having a day? This is insane. So it was like this very like cool community moment where I was like, wow, like a lot of people stepped out, like all the humane societies knew. A month and a half, no Dwight. Really sad. So there was like a Dwight-sized hole in my heart. And one day, I was at brunch, like you do, and I had about 18 mimosas. Like you do. And I went to a puppy shop afterwards. Don't do that. And I know it's wrong, and I know like I'm normally like a shelter, like a doctor, like, but there was a dog on clearance. There was this like cute little nugget Frenchie bulldog on clearance, and I was like, sir, why is this dog? I don't receive them. I was like, sir, why is this dog on clearance? Like that didn't make sense in my brain. And the man says to me, well, the dog's a little big for his breed, and people don't like that. I was like, sir, I'm big for my breed. And I took out my credit card, and I was like, I'm going to buy the dog. And I did, and it was great. And so I transitioned to, for a little bit, like a dog owner, very sad about Dwight. Cut to a year and a half later. I'm in Utah. I graduated. I was working as a social worker in Salt Lake City, and I get a call about 5 in the morning. I remember it was on a weekday, because I was like, well, maybe there's some weird portal unlocked. I don't know. And I get a call from a Chicago number that I didn't recognize, and I answer it. And he's like, hi, this is like so-and-so from the Chicago Fire Department. And I was like, yeah, huh, what? And he's like, I have your cat. Sir, I live in Salt Lake City now. You must be mistaken. I'm so sorry. Like, and he's like, I was like, if those records are from the Humane Society, they're old. Like, I'm so sorry. It's been a year and a half. I'm so sorry. I was like, well, the cat has a collar that's been like, through some weathering, and like it has your name and your number, and it's a tiny little black kitten. I was like, sir, Dwight was like a big black cat. And he's like, well, he's a black cat. He's like small. He's like, I don't know, maybe he's old and just not eating a lot. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And he was like, well, I'll FaceTime you. We'll look at it. And I was like, okay. So like I FaceTime this man at 5 in the morning. It was fucking Dwight. I don't know what kind of hoe shit he had been doing for the last year and a half. Year and a half in Chicago. Also, it was the South Side Police Department. I was living in Wrigleyville. If anybody knows, like that is 8 miles away. That is 8 miles. There was a winter. In the winter, the snow is like to here, and the cat is to here. Where the fuck were you? Like, there's no new color, so he just had the same color. Like, I have no idea. So of course, I call my work, and I'm like, listen, I gotta go. I gotta go get my cat from Chicago. Long story. I'll be back Monday. So I take a red eye, go to Chicago. Sure enough, it was white. He could have cared less that I was there. With his hands again. After I gave him like mounds of cat food, I'm like crying. He's like, stop. Anyway. So I take him home. I'm on this red eye. Like, I have him all like really close to me, and like I have him on my lap, and I'm like on the plane. And it's like dark, and all of a sudden I hear like a ding, and like an aggressive plane ding. The one that isn't like a drinks or it's like a boom, all the lights on. And I look up, and I'm at the back of the plane. So I'm in the very back of the plane, and I have to, count here. And I see a stewardess at the very front holding Dwight like this, who had Houdini'd out of the cage and been wandering around, trying to do some whole shit on the fucking plane. Anyway, my point is, adopt some cats because they're great. They're I didn't mean to kind of make credit.
For Amy and Kyle and everyone else who saw Kathy. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting live comedy. Catmedy. So I don't know if did I already tell you that we're gonna do this every month? Did I already say that? Yeah. Woo. So yeah, every month you can do this. You can bring your friends. You can get high. I don't care. Weed, not heroin. No. I know. It is tricky. But please come out to Lady Ha Ha Comedy every Wednesday at The Rock. 7 o'clock, it's free. You can try comedy, or you can come watch and support comedy. You can just get drunk. Like, we need you there. And it's a comedy open mic for marginalized people, and their allies. So, women, LGBTQ+, people of color, etc., 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 etc. So, and then follow us on Instagram. And if you've been drinking, don't drive. And I love you so much. Have a good night.
Drinking.
I think they close at 8:30, so you have 6 minutes. Wow.
You changed a photo?
No, it's just the video's still going.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.